wow, we've got a nice huge puffball mushroom is what I think. It's huge. This is the biggest one I've seen. These are edible, but it could be mistaken for an amanita, but I don't think this is an amanita mushroom, which is dangerous. Amanitas are. Death angels, I believe, are part of the amanita family, and death angels will kill you, but we'll make sure that this is not poisonous. But it looks like a giant puffball to me. So I'm going to go ahead and harvest it. I got permission from the neighbor here, and this is going to be pretty cool. Alright, here's that puffball mushroom we just harvested. And these are giant puffballs because this is the size of my hand against this mushroom. I'm pretty sure it's not an amanita. Puffballs are edible. They have a very light taste. They're kind of hard to store. And they're really good like in cheese dishes and fried up with eggs or just sauteed in butter. But right now I've got to put a little bit of bleach in here, bleach water in here, and I do that with all my mushrooms just to get rid of any bugs or bacteria or anything like that that may be on the fungi here, or the fungus here. And so when I harvested this from my neighbor's garden, there were a lot of pill bugs and worms and stuff underneath it, and I saw a hole or two. So hopefully when I split this in half in order to make sure that it is indeed a puffball, I'm 89% sure that it is, just because of its size. But you know, it's important to be vigilant with mushrooms, especially wild mushrooms, wild fungi. I'm going to hopefully not encounter too many bugs inside, and you know, and that's okay. That's it's kind of with foraging for wild mushrooms. That's what you have to deal with. Is you have to deal with the bugs that like to burrow inside and eat as well. But this is fairly fresh. This is the first time I've been able to harvest one this size, and I went. It was a gentleman in my neighborhood, and I was driving home, and as I do, I just scanned the area, constantly looking for stuff because I knew. Alright, so here's our puffball. Scientific name, Latin name, would be the Calvaceae species, Calvaceae giganta or something like that. For these giant mushrooms, there's a couple different other ones. Some have bumps on them, some have spikes coming out. This is just a round, smooth, giant one. And this is a pretty big one because these are both my hands on it. And I'm like just delighted that the gentleman let me go in his yard and in his garden and get this. So I'm gonna try to make use of it. I've already washed it off in some water with bleach in it. I always do that with my mushrooms and usually anything I forage, just because we're modern times and you never know what little microbes might be living on our plants and things like that before you eat them. It's just an extra safety precaution for myself. So apparently this outer side, and you can listen, sounds like a drum, is really tough, and that's edible, but it's really dirty underneath, and I don't want to try to clean out. I want to take the time to clean off all that dirt and stuff, so we will discard the outer shell. They say that for some people it causes some distress to eat the outer shell, intestinal distress. It doesn't bother me. I've eaten the outer shell as well as the inner, but because of just not being able to clean this thoroughly, I'm going to get rid of it. So basically we're going to cut this open and see how buggy it is inside. I hope there's pieces of it we can use, and I'm going to cut it this way. Hopefully nothing just pops out, but here we go. And we're doing this to double check that it's not an amanita of some sort, and there's bits of yellow in it. You can see up in here that it's been eaten away by bugs, and that's common with mushrooms. But this outer area here is white. We should be able to cut this away and eat the soft, milky white part here. We'd want to get rid of the yellow and the brown and all this stuff that's been chewed up. Alright, so this is essentially what the inside of a puffball looks like. I do not see a shape like an amanita or like a mushroom inside of a puffball. If that's the case, then it's the start of or an egg of an amanita. And amanitas are a species of fungi that contain some of the most poisonous, not toxic, but poisonous mushrooms, meaning they will kill you. And that's why you cut the puffballs open before you even think about eating them. So at any rate, what we're going to do is I'm going to set this piece aside here, and thank goodness there's no bugs up in there. And that's also one of the reasons why I put it in bleach. And we're going to go about the task of cutting this the bad parts away.